Hey everyone, what is going on? It's Wilson, and I'm making another video right now to kind of go over how you can use the simple moving average, the SMA, to identify a trend in the stock when you're looking at charts, right? This is very useful, and you see a lot of traders talk about it. You see it on Twitter, you see it on news, on how they only look at the SMA and see once it passes the SMA, it could mean that it's trending upwards and it's a good stock to swing long term or trend with the trade, right? I mean, trade with the trend. So here you see in this example right here, there's three lines right here, right? Then there's these candlesticks, and the first line right here, hold on, I'm trying to draw on this, right here represents the 200 SMA, right? And then this orange one right here represents the 50. Bad drawing, I know. And then this purple, 20. So using these three indicators, you're able to kind of determine if the stock is going to be trending upwards or if it's going to be going downwards, right? Now, we're not talking about the candlesticks right now. We're just talking about these three lines right here in different colors, which represents the SMA 50, 200, and 20. So a rule of thumb that I like to use is if the trending line is pointing towards 2 o'clock, that equals very strong. So that's a strong indicator. 4 o'clock, downwards. So it's trending downwards, not strong, right? So that's one thing that you can keep in mind right here. And as you can tell in this stock, AAAP is trending upwards. So a good way to use these indicators is that once the candlesticks go above these indicators, it means that it's trending upwards. That means that the stock most likely will continue with this trendward pattern depending on how it was in the past. Using these indicators is very powerful. And using the 2 o'clock and the 4 o'clock is how you want to determine how strong each indicator is. So just because it's trading above these SMA lines doesn't mean that it's going very strong. So with the 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, you're able to determine how strong of a trend is it. So for example, let's look at the SMA 20, which is this purplish line right here, 20. As you can tell, it's pointing towards 2 o'clock, right? A little bit close to 2 o'clock, so that means it's very strong. Now we look at the SMA 50, which is in orange, and it's pointing towards 2 o'clock too, so it's going upwards. That means it's very strong in the recent days, right, in the last 50 and 20 days. Now we're looking at the 200 line. It's still upwards, slightly upwards, and the chart is actually trading above it, but not 2 o'clock, right? So not as strong, but still strong. It's still strong. So this is an indicator that these three lines put together tells you that it is a good stock to trade, right? All right, let's take a look at another one. So GRBY, same thing. SMA 200 is this line right here, and then SMA 20 right here, and SMA 50, this orange line. As you can tell, it's trading above the SMA. So that means it's trending upwards. Remember, same rule as at first. 2 o'clock, very strong. And 4 o'clock is weak. So right here, as you can tell, is all trading above SMA, which means that this stock is strong and is trending upwards. Now, the SMA 20 right here is going towards 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, which means that it's strong. Now, all these other indicators are showing that it is strong. These other two is showing that it's strong, but not as strong yet. So we're looking at this one, which means that for this amount of recent time, because it's SMA 20, then it shows that the short range is strong and is trending upwards, extremely strong for SMA 20. So this is a good way to use your SMA indicators to kind of figure out whether or not the stock is going to be trending upwards. And if you're swing trading, you're going to hold on for anywhere between 2 days to 7 days. It's very important that you use these indicators. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at DXCM. So same thing as earlier. The orange one right here is SMA 50. The purple, SMA 20. And this yellow one is SMA 200. So as you can tell, this stock is actually trending downwards. It has not traded above any of the SMA indicators, so that already shows that it's an indication that it's going to be trending downwards. And right here, if you look at all these 3 SMA indicators, you can tell that the purple one is going extremely lower. So that means during the recent 20 days has been going trending downwards compared to the other times. But this is all 3 of them indicates that the stock is going to be going lower regardless. And this might be a stock that's just not performing so well, especially not in the month of September. And you can use these indicators to determine what the trend will be. Of course, you still got to look at stuff like support line and resistance line, but these 3 indicators is a good starting point for you to look at when you're looking at trend lines and looking at the indicators to see which way will the stock perform. And right here you can see it's a very a bearish type of stock right now because of these indicators, and is extremely weak in the last 20 days, whereas the other ones are still weak, but is not as weak yet compared to the past like 200 days. Well, I hope this video kind of explained it. I know I didn't do the best job explaining these indicators, but if you're new and you're starting off and you're just looking to like get into technical analysis or trend trading, this is a really great way to start by just looking at these 3 indicators to determine where the stock is going. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to this channel for more.